Do you know your megabytes from your megabits? No? Well, you're not alone, according to research from comparison website Broadband Choices. 1 in 5 of us can't decipher the words and abbreviations used in broadband advertising. 46% of those surveyed said they don't understand the majority of words used to describe their own broadband packages. And the website claims that millions of customers could be paying up to £100 extra in unnecessary charges because of this. Well, with me now is Belinda Parmar, Chief Executive of Lady Geek. It's you're dedicated to giving accessibility to women and technology. So what is the difference between a megabit and a megabyte? Chris didn't know at the start, and I'm sure millions of people out there don't either.
So both the units of storage, so 8 megabits equals 1 megabyte. But the point is, most people don't know, and most people have no desire to know the difference between a megabyte and a megabit. And, you know, I think it's up to the broadband companies to make it simple and make it easy for us to understand.
So, in terms of the advertising that we see, are there times where you've seen things on adverts and think, actually, that could end up costing, you know, somebody who doesn't really need a lot of the things that are being on offer a lot of money? Often
it's misleading because you're comparing apples and pears, so megabytes and megabits. The point is that what we really need is to really understand is what level of service you're getting. We're obsessed with performance and speed, but ultimately a lot of it is unknown. What we want to do is focus on the service, so reassurance. When something goes wrong, do people know what level of service you're going to get? I mean, I chose my broadband package because without internet in my house, it's a disaster. It's a mini disaster. I'd put Wi-Fi in our household hierarchy of needs, and I chose a provider that actually guaranteed that they would service it by the end of the next day if something went wrong. So let's not focus on just the performance, let's focus on the after service as well. And it's, I mean, you've said it, you have to be quite technically savvy to actually understand what a lot of these adverts are saying. So do you think the companies are conning us, or do you think it's just an innocent mistake that they're making here in the way they sell broadband packages to us? I don't think they're doing it on purpose, but the problem here is the people who are creating these products are engineers, and they're creating products where you need a technical degree to understand them. Most people that are using broadbands are mums, kids, families, and ultimately they just want the thing to work and they want it to work well. So there's a lack of empathy from the broadband companies. I don't think it's deliberate, but it is a big issue.
And in terms of, you know, we talk about download speeds. Why should we care? Why should a normal consumer care how fast their broadband is? Why does it make such a big difference?
Well, what they want to know is how much content they can consume. So, for example, what does that mean, how much download and how much upload? Actually, what I care about is how much hours of Netflix or how long I can use my BBC iPlayer for. I want to know what that means in terms of content. And that's the mistake that companies are making. They're using meaningless jargon that no one understands.
And, I mean, you've obviously, as you're in your job, you're quite technically savvy. Do you find a lot of people come to you and say, actually, I haven't got a clue what I'm being sold or what I'm actually paying for?
Yeah, and there's quite a lot of fear and intimidation. You know, people don't want to look stupid and have to ask all this. At the same time, they don't want to spend hours reading a manual just to understand the basics. It's really important that the companies stop bamboozling us. They really make it simple. Keep it simple, offer reassurance. Think about the after sales as well.
And there's a lot of deals out there as well, and they range in price too, and it's very confusing. I mean, you might get a broadband package for as little as £2–3 a month to, you know, £30–40 a month. So why is there such a big difference in price as well?
Because you're comparing different things. I mean, the key thing to do is ask people in your neighbourhood, so get recommendations, because it's likely if your neighbour's not getting a good signal from a certain provider, you're not likely to either. So get recommendations, look at the after-sales support, and the key thing is for companies to really realise that this is an issue, and broadband companies must start to keep it simple and avoid the jargon.
Belinda Parmar, CEO of Lady Geek, thank you very much for joining us this morning.